Well, there's a very, very short answer to this, and the short answer is money. That's a short answer. But let me give you a little bit of background as well, because money, whilst it's the right answer, it also, I think, would be useful to understand a couple of different points of this. So, where to start? Well, I suspect that factories in China get asked all the time if they will exclusively create and manufacture a product for an entrepreneur. I suspect that happens way more than we may realize. And so it always is important to consider the factory owner and their own needs and wants to help us understand, while it may not be in their best economic interests to give you an exclusive to manufacture a product. Because for the most part, I think most people at some time in their lives have had a $1 million idea, for instance, but very, very few people who have those $1 million ideas actually take any action at all towards the fulfillment of them. And I suspect that factory owners in China get their time wasted a lot by folks who come to them saying they want an exclusive. You can only manufacture the product for me and nobody else. I suspect that they get that a lot. I suspect they also get a lot of people kicking tires and wasting their time. And they have got bills to pay, mouths to feed, blah, 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 blah. So it doesn't actually make any economic sense at all for them to give you an exclusive. In fact, it's the opposite. It makes much, much more sense for them to manufacture for you and manufacture for anybody else that also wants that product too. So there's that. It's not in their best economic interest. So when you approach a factory, you should know going in, that's what's happening in their minds. If you ever done any sales, you've got to understand things from your customers or prospects' point of view. I'll also say this. I think that the first step in having an exclusive arrangement with a factory where they only produce the product for you is to have a trademark or a patent in China for what it is you're asking them to produce. So that is actually freaking expensive in somewhere like the USA. I think it's like $30,000, something like that, to get those two things in the USA. But in China, it's actually ludicrously simple and easy to get a patent for a product. Patent and trademark, very, very cheap in China to get. $100, I think, for both the trademark and the patent is all it costs. And you'd go through Hong Kong to get them done. And, by the way, if you're in my inner circle and what I've just said hasn't made lights go off in your head, then you haven't been paying attention in inner circle. So $100 to get patents or trademarks in China for a product. That ought to set some lights going off in your head. Anyway, so that ought to be a first step. And I think if you go into the situation knowing that it's not in their economic interest to do it, but you have already got a patent and or trademark, and when they go check you out, they see a nice website, I think that would be the first steps to getting them done. And then it will be money. Will you give them sufficient money to manufacture the product exclusively for you so they lose any other business? It will probably come down to that second of all. But I think going in, if you've got those things, that will help a lot. If you need your factory to do something like a new mold, then you should expect to pay for that. So a new mold, oftentimes when people want to make changes to a product, sometimes the things you want to change are actually really, really easy to change. So you want to change the color of something, that's actually pretty easy to do. Most factories will change a color for you. You want to change the material that's being used, that's actually pretty simple to do. Most factories will change a material for you. But if you want to change a mold, the way something actually looks, that requires a whole set of different things that a factory has to do just for that one product, and unless you order enough of them or pay enough to get that done, they won't do it. So again, money. It comes back to money. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales have used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.